Hi, I'm Hunter from ScreenFeed. Today we're going to take a look at building a Microsoft Teams driven Kudos board for employee engagement. There are a couple things that we need for this project. The first thing is a screen. Now this can be a smart TV and not so smart TV, a projector, a video wall, an LED board, just some way to display your digital content. The second thing we need is control over playback. So we need a player and or a player software. Sometimes they come together. In this example, I'll be using SkyKit's content management software and their dedicated player. But you could use something like a Fire Stick and an app, or maybe even something as simple as an app for the smart display. The third thing that we're going to need is Microsoft Teams for digital signage from ScreenFeed. To get Teams for digital signage, go to screenfeed.com and choose Browse Apps. You'll see a bunch of different offerings that we have, and if you tap on search, you can type in Teams. Click on the Teams tile, and if you scroll down, you have two options, subscribe now or try it out. You can browse this page to get a better idea of what the Teams app can get you, but we'll be going over that in this video. Subscribe now gives you a subscription, paid monthly subscription to the Teams app per screen, or you can try it out, get a little trial for 30 days. Either way, you do have to set up a ScreenFeed account. You'll see a similar screen to this. Scroll down, it gives you an idea of the price and save changes at the bottom. If we go to feeds, once you've done that action and created a subscription, we can look for Teams and we'll create a feed. Now, before we do that, let's take a look at Teams itself, because the Teams app for digital signage works off of a specific chosen or specific group of chosen Teams channels. In this project, we will be setting up a Teams Kudos channel. So if we look here, here's my Teams, pretty sparse, but we can see that this is used for a lot of testing and nothing has that employee engagement Kudos flair to it. So under default directory, because I'm an administrator for this team, I'm going to create a channel right here. So if I click on this three dot ellipsis here, I'm going to click add channel. And we're going to put the channel name in. We'll call this Kudos board. And we'll say something positive about your teammates. If we go down to choose the channel type, we can choose standard, which will give anybody who has access to the team access to the channel. You can also do shared, which is saying not only people that have access to my team have access to the channel, but people outside of even my organization can have access. Or the third option, which is private, which means I select specific people who have access. Now, this should be noted. If someone does not have access to the parent team of the channel, you cannot include them in the private channel. So if that's a concern for you, it's just something to pay attention to. We'll click standard and I'll click create. So now we have our Kudos board team channel. I'm going to start a post. Let's say, good job, Reese. And I can type in a message, or I can add an image or a GIF. Bravocado. We'll scroll down and we'll hit post. If anyone replies to this post, it will not show up in the Teams on our screen. It's only the primary posts that show up, and it should work with things like GIFs or videos. We'll do another one. We'll say, way to go, Lorna. And let's do a little smiley face. So if we go to back to my feeds. We have our teams open. We're going to click create a feed. And from here, we're going to choose HTML. Now, there are other delivery methods that work. The nice thing about HTML is that it can have produce the video posts. It can show that. It can have animations. It's a much richer medium than a Media RSS, which is static images. If we scroll down further, we're going to select our shape. I'm going to choose 16:9. Don't be thrown off because it says 4K here. 16:9 will because it's HTML, it will flex to scale to fit the size of your screen up to 4K. If we scroll down even further, look at all these lovely accounts that I have connected. But I am going to add a refresh so you can see what it's like to sign into your Teams account. So you will go down here to add a refresh and sign in with your Microsoft identity that you want to pull in those Teams posts with. There we go. All right. So once you've signed in, it will ask you what access you want to grant ScreenFeed Teams. Please look through it. Because I'm already authorized, I'm not showing you that directly. If we scroll down, I can actually see it pulled in my Kudos board right there. So I'm going to click include. I can include multiples if I want, but we'll just do the Kudos board for now. Gives you an idea of what the post might look like. We'll adjust the font. You can adjust how many posts you want to see at one time. So there's my way to go, Lorna. I can make changes to things like background, hide reactions, adjust colors, don't show videos, only show videos, and adjust the intro text, which I'm going to do. I'm going to say Kudos board. If we scroll down even further, I can see how many items I want to display and set parameters around what items I want to show and how long I want them displayed. Now, if I set this to items created within the last day and all my posts are older than 1 day, it will show this fallback text. You can customize that. By default, it's make it a great day. So we'll name this feed, we'll call it Kudos Board. And now we've got our Teams feed ready to go. We will copy this URL, and now we can go to our SkyKit login. So beam.skykit.com, and we can publish that. So if we go to, I log in with Google. You can do it with your email. Now what we're going to do is click add content. We'll choose URL and web view, not web capture. I have that URL copied from before, so here's our Teams URL, right? QH, I'll copy it again so you can see. And we can set it to show for whatever amount of time we want it to show for. I'm just going to do 30 seconds. We'll click create. And now that that content's created, let's get it scheduled on our SkyKit player. So we'll go over here to the left and choose displays. All right, I've got a SkyKit box here. This is an Android-based player, and we'll just be using these 3 ports on the back. There are USB ports on the side, and a SD card, I think, for additional storage potentially. But we've got HDMI, network, and power. You don't need the network. This little thing has Wi-Fi in it as well. We're going to plug it in the network for our purposes today. So we always start with power. We got our power right here. There we go. And plugs in right there. Then we've got a network cable next. Plug that right in. And then finally, we've got our HDMI. Now this is plugged into the TV right there. So there we go. There's our player. Do one of these. And now we are all set to get our content scheduled using SkyKit Beam. Once your player turns on, it may ask for wireless network information if you don't have it plugged in to a network like I did. but it will show a device pairing code once it's gotten itself up to date. Once you see that code, you can go to beam.skykit.com, log in, and click Pair Display. Here you can enter that pairing code and click Pair Display, and your display will be listed here. You can click in and make changes to, for example, the name of the player so that you can know which player is which if you have multiples. You could put teams in as part of a playlist where your kudos come up and then maybe a different message. But what we can do is push, at least in SkyKit, is push that content directly to a player. So we can see here that my landscape display is online. I can select that display and I'm going to click change. From here, I've got my kudos board. I can see it right there. Now I can always come back and rename this and make changes. I'll select it and it's changing that content right away. Now, if I'm not sitting right in front of my screen, like I am currently, but I'm making changes and want to check, this is the beauty of some softwares like SkyKit, where I can say, I'm not necessarily here, but I can make active changes and I can choose to see proof of play, saying, is it actually playing by taking a screenshot? So it will refresh and I can see what's playing on my screen as it's playing, which right now it's showing way to go Lorna. And that's it. There's my kudos board right there. If I wanted to make changes, instead of showing like one post at a time, I want to show 6, I could go to my ScreenFeed account, make those configuration adjustments and hit save. And once I do, it will update on my screen. So I don't need to go back through and get the URL and copy it and make a web and set the timing and put it back in SkyKit. All I have to do is make the changes in ScreenFeed and it will update on my screen. I hope you enjoyed this video. We have other videos that talk about different areas of the Microsoft suite that we have built for digital signage. Things like Power BI, LinkedIn, Outlook Calendar, and how you can use those to your advantage on a screen using various projects and use cases. If you're interested in SkyKit, it's skykit.com. They have some free trials and a pretty affordable player. So check it out, skykit.com. If you want to check out what else ScreenFeed has to offer, we not only have things like Teams and LinkedIn and Microsoft entities, we also have weather and sports and news and all the lovely popular infotainment options, as well as a configuration tool called Connect. Some of my other videos touch on these other topics. Once again, I'm Hunter from ScreenFeed, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.